Very, very easy.
He had these things that you can't teach people. He's virtually won everything in the game.
One of the best passes of a ball I've played with, probably, that has been in Wales football.
Fantastic vision of play, his control, his ability to see passes, see things early.
He has this kind of crystal clear ball that he sees what is going to happen like 2 seconds before.
Tshaabi Alonso was up there with the best ever. There's no doubt about him.
He was very calm in possession. He could change the course of an entire game with one pass.
At a different speed than a normal pass.
When we were under pressure, he'd find a way out of it with a long pass.
I tried to move the ball quickly and to give the ball in right position to the forwards to make that last pass or last chance.
Tshaabi Alonso, what a pass! It's a brilliant ball from Alonso. He was so elegant on the ball. Many times his passing just made me say, wow.
Tshaabi used to give you an extra 1, 2, maybe 3 seconds on the ball.
When he is going to receive the ball, he knows everything. So he has taken the decision earlier than most of the people and knows what he's going to do.
That man who knits everything together, really. He's the one getting the ball off the back foot. He's the one then feeding it, the number 10, the strikers.
The joy of the moment, the euphoria of all of us, and to have that trophy.
You are playing with him, and suddenly the next day you see him winning the World Cup. I mean, it's like, wow.
To be World Cup champions, that's the real dream of a football player.
نشأ تشابي ألونسو في إقليم الباسك الواقع في شمالي إسبانيا. طفولته كانت طفولة مثالية.
San Sebastian it's a beautiful city. It's not so big for a young kid that wants to just play, to ride bicycle, to go to the beach.
We are very close in age, and we used to be all the time together. And of course, football was everything.
I was lucky enough to have my brother. He was just a year older than me, so we were very close friends.
We played in the beach a lot, and the beach was very special because we went 8 in the morning, and we needed to make the feel ourselves with, you know, like the lines in the sand. We need to put the goals, put the net.
He used to bully me a little bit, but that gave me that hunger to keep fighting against him in a good way.
Came from a football family, which helps. They're all day talking about football. I mean, he lived football 24 hours a day.
His dad was a good player and a great guy.
Perico was one of the great players of the Sociedad side that won 2 championships. Played for Spain, of course, in World Cups as well.
He told us the ideas, the things that he thought were important for being a good player.
He's never forgotten what he's learnt, and he's never forgotten where he's come from originally.
My career started pretty late. Till I was 17, I was in the team of my neighborhood. We had a good team, but it wasn't like a professional club.
In Antioquia, it was very important, the technique, and they have very interesting ideas about developing players, like making like a good football, passing ball, and I think it was very important for us as well. We played the last year here in Antioquia, and then we signed for Real Sociedad, and we went to the reserve team. From there, he went very soon to the first team.
خلال الفترة التي قضاها في ملعب أنويتا قابل ألونسو من كان له تأثير عميق آخر على مسيرته الكروية.
When I went back to the club from Madrid, I think he'd be 19 years of age at the time. You could see straight away the vision, the passing ability that he had.
He was the first one that gave me the real chance to prove myself.
They were in a difficult situation. Coming up to the last 6 or 7 games, there was a possibility of them going down. I put Tshaabi in, he was absolutely brilliant. He turned it round.
It wasn't an easy task. At that moment, the team was struggling, and I was just 18, 19.
He was superb, and he just went on and on and on.
You could feel that with him, the team was working better as a whole, and his impact was great.
I could see that Tshaabi was going to be some player.
لعب متوسط الميدان الشاب في موسم 2002-2003 دورا فعالا حيث كاد أن يكرر إنجازات والده حيث أهدر سوسيداد الفوز بلقب الدوري الإسباني الأول له منذ 21 عاما وبفرق ضئيل.
We nearly were champions of the league. It was incredible. He was one of the better midfielders of the league.
لم يكن أداء تشابي ألونسو مع ناديه المحلي ليمر مرور الكرام. في صيف العام 2004 وبعد موسم رائع آخر قدمه مع ريال سوسيداد بدأت طلبات التعاقد تنهال عليه من عمالقة الكرة في أوروبا.
There was an interest from Madrid. There were a few negotiations between the clubs, but they didn't reach an agreement. And the interest from Liverpool came. Liverpool, I have heard of the club, of the history of the players. They were really, really serious.
10.7 million, I think, off the top of my head. A lot of money at the time for a midfielder, but when you look back at it now, it's an absolute steal.
Straight away you knew he was a top-class player. I mean, people always say it takes 12 months to settle at a club for a foreign player coming in.
I think it took me 30 seconds to know that Tshaabi Alonso was, one, going to work at Liverpool, and two, to know that we had a world-class footballer on our hands.
I remember when I arrived at Melwood, I saw, okay, Stevie, Cara, these are the ones that I need to keep an eye on because they are the ones that they hold the team, they hold the changing room.
Myself and Cara are always welcoming, you know, whatever country you come from. Cara in a different way to myself. I'm more maybe reserved and quiet. Cara goes a different way and gives them a bit of stick. Takes them out the comfort zone and they settle with him a different way.
Well, that's why I had a great relationship with Tshaabi. It wasn't just on the pitch, it was off the pitch. He was similar to me in that he loved the game.
The big challenge for him would obviously have been a different culture, the Premiership, which is different to La Liga.
You need to be up for the challenge, not changing my qualities, but adapting to circumstances or to different games. Like it wasn't the same playing at Bolton or playing at Highbury.
But his first game was away at Bolton. But then a few days later, he played at home to Monaco in the Champions League. Straight away, he played 5 or 6 passes that you knew. OK, that's why Rafa Benitez brought him in.
Rafa is very meticulous, analytic about the details. We communicate very well because of the language, because he knew that he needed a midfielder that understood the game. Things were going pretty well on the pitch. First season was progressing well, especially in Champions League.
بعد تغلبهم على تشيلسي في نصف النهائي توجه ليفربول إلى إسطنبول بهدف انتزاع البطولة الأوروبية لأول مرة منذ 21 عام. لكن ألونسو وزملائه عاشوا كابوسا في الشوط الأول.
Me and him had a difficult time in the first half. We were up against the diamond and was outnumbered in the middle. But as a team, we struggled for the whole first half.
We were wasting a beautiful chance to be European champions because we were playing, but we were not competing.
When we actually got that control of the game, he came into his own and played a very strong performance in the final as well.
أعادت رأسية جيرارد بعد 9 دقائق من بداية الشوط الثاني الثقة إلى الفريق.
When Stevie scored, it was the first hope that we need. And just a couple of minutes later, Vladi scored the second one. We knew that we were back on the game.
بعد 4 دقائق من هدف شميتسر تم إسقاط جيرارد داخل منطقة الجزاء.
It was my first professional penalty, but I was given the responsibility and I had to take it. When I look at the images, I look much more nervous than I really was.
I always think that penalty sums up Alonso as a player. In that he takes it with his right foot, misses it, but has the composure to put the ball back in with his left foot.
It was the quickest 5 meters I've ever done in my life. It was probably the biggest relief of my life.
It was so important and wow, what a moment, what a moment. So proud, so proud, so proud of him.
When Jersey made that unbelievable save and you said, wow, maybe this means that we can grab it.
I think we all felt our name maybe on the cup. Sometimes when you're playing in the game you feel things happen for a reason.
بعد انتهاء الوقت الإضافي بالتعادل 3-3 انتهت ضربات الترجيح بفوز توج تلك العودة المعجزة ليختتم ألونسو موسمه الأول في ليفربول كبطل أوروبي.